It's going to be another corner kick to Sweden, who've started brightly here. Sweden on the front foot. Caused the Dutch a ton of problems in the last game. They were heavily beaten. They did get on the score sheet and made a load of chances. This corner is from the other side, the right-hand side. Gabriel Gudmundsson has gone across to swing this in with his left foot. In towards the near post, hacked away. Again, Dyson Maeda is defending. And this time, Elliot Stroud just gives it back to his goalkeeper. He'll just get a first start tonight, Jakob Vidal-Zetterström. Christopher Nordfeldt, the fall guy for that 5-goal defensive performance against the Dutch last time. Surprise choice, Vidal-Zetterström. I think a lot of watchers would have thought that Victor Johansson might have been the man, but Potter has gone with Vidal-Zetterström. Ball is out on the far side for a throw-in to the Swedes. We have played 2.5 minutes. It is Japan 0, Sweden 0 here in Dallas. Well, Arlington more specifically, but for the purposes of the tournament, it has been the Dallas Stadium. Throw in Keito Nakamura for Japan, just back into Ito. Ito back to his captain, Ko Itakura. Victor Lindelof is the Swedish skipper. I didn't name check here. Match official either. Ivan Barton from El Salvador is the man in the middle tonight. All in orange, Ivan Barton. The VAR is Nicholas Gayo Barragan. Doan has conceded a free kick. Just clipped the heels there of Yasin Ayari. Doan with the bottle blonde hair. Easy to pick out on this right-hand side of the forward three for Japan. We've got an early goal in the other game. The Dutch are 1-0 up against Tunisia, who've had an absolute disaster of a tournament. Goal after 3 minutes for the Netherlands. So as it stands, the Netherlands will sit on 7 points. Japan 5, Sweden 4, Tunisia 0. I'm sure there will be a lot of chopping and changing as things move on. Long ball forward towards Isak. Isak as well takes it down on his chest, finds Gudmundsson. Support is from Elliot Stroud, left hand side. It's a Tunisian own goal, by the way, that is given the Dutch the lead there. So things just go bad to worse from Tunisia in this tournament. Now here's a chance for Japan, right hand side. Into the penalty area. It's a good run from Dyson Maeda, who's then just bundled off the ball. Physical bit of defending, something Sweden can do. And the referee wasn't interested in the free kick. It was Gabriel Gudmundsson who just leant into the Celtic man. And now Sweden can attack. Right hand side. Alexander Bernardsson. Little 1-2. Little 1-2 with Isak. Shooting chance. Down with the save is Suzuki. Didn't quite catch it. It was a lovely flowing move. Bernardsson plays the 1-2 with Gyökeres. Plays the 1-2 with Isak. And I tell you what, after he gets his shot off there, he's absolutely wiped out off the ball. I mean, wiped out in the penalty area. Don't know if anyone's not having a look at that. It's a clear foul. Not sure why that wouldn't be checked. Although the VAR and the refereeing in general in this tournament has been handled with a very light touch. The officials haven't interfered too much. We saw an example earlier on this evening where the Germany goal stood when it looked like there'd been a foul committed on an Ecuadorian defender. But we carry on here. I don't mind it. Suzuki, the man who made that save. Pretty straightforward save from Bernardsson. Rolls the ball out to Ayumu Seko. Seko back into Io Tanaka. Big diagonal out with this right hand side. Sugawara, good first touch from him. Infield to Seko. Right to Maeda, left footed cross is from Doan. Cleared away from Sweden. Japan just getting their first spell of possession and territory of the game. The ball's headed up in the air by Gudmundsson. When it drops, Isaac Hayne heads it back to his goalkeeper. Well, the flag was up anyway on this right hand side. Offside against Japan. Oh my days. It's 2-0 to the Netherlands. Brian Brobby has added a goal there. Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2 after 7 minutes. Well, brace yourself for a record here tonight. Get the opening goal in this one, and I'm sure it'll liven right up. It's been a bright start here from both sides. Both sides have asked a few questions. Ball is out for a Japanese throw-in the right back area. Sugawara has it. As you'd expect, a very colourful spectacle around the Dallas Stadium tonight. Both sets of supporters known for their infectious enthusiasm and an ability to dress up. Japan have a free kick. Gudmundsson fouled Aisa Ueda as Ueda tried to turn away from Gudmundsson. Japan have taken the free kick. They're in possession on the halfway line. Ito square to Sugawara. With a 3-4-2-1 for Japan here. 3 centre backs, but Nakamura, Sugawara, very adaptable. They can play in at full back or push on when Japan have possession. Ball into the penalty area. Isaac Hayne as well wins the header. Hooked clear by Lindelof. Turns on the corner by Japan towards Doan. Sweden win it though, and Yasin Iari brings it forward. Elanga skips away from one challenge, hurdles a second challenge, and is wiped out, absolutely wiped out, by the Japanese player. I have no idea how that's not a yellow card. I already mentioned the leniency of the officials in this. Io Tanaka wiped out Anthony Elanga. Free kick was given just on the edge of the centre circle for Sweden, but no yellow card for Tanaka. Graham Potter has his funeral suit on again, and he's just having a word with the fourth official, trying to establish why that wasn't a yellow card. Clear directives for the officials to not dish out too many cards in this tournament. One goal forward. Gyökeres, good centre forward play. We'll find Isak. Isak looks for the 1-2. Doesn't get there. It's going to come to Gyökeres again. Gyökeres' pass wasn't the best. Japan bring it away. Good play from Tanaka this time. 10 minutes have elapsed here in Arlington. It's scoreless. Japan 0, Sweden 0. Ball at the feet of the Leeds United man. We've got Leeds United players on opposing sides here. Ball slipped down the right hand channel, looking for the run of Dyson Maeda, but a little bit too close to Vidal Zetterstrom. He was all in lime green, keeping goal away to our right hand side. Isaac Hayne, triangle from Sweden. Iari brings it away. Lagerbielke for Lindelof. Lindelof into the feet of Gyökeres. He tried to turn it around the corner, but there was nobody there for Sweden. Bernardsson was closest, but it's ended up back at the feet of Suzuki. He clips it forward with his left foot. Over the top of Ayase Ueda. Picked up again by Sweden. Game just settled down now into a little pattern. Long ball forward. Headed away by Itakura. Lindelof is then beaten to it by Maeda. A little nutmeg from Maeda. He's then held back. Referee's played an advantage. It was picked up by Nakamura. Japan over the halfway line. Dropped back into Itakura. Kamada. Daichi Kamada, 2 goals in this tournament. So far, he only scored once in 46 games for Crystal Palace this season. So he's found his scoring boots. I'm not sure he knew an awful lot about either of them, to be honest, but I'd rather be lucky than good, as the man once said. Japan on the attack. Crossing towards the back post. Looks slightly overheat. Not too far. You can argue Sugawara was round the back post. It's only a couple of yards away from making that, but it has bounced out for a goal kick to Sweden. Japan 0, Sweden 0. 13 minutes played here in Arlington, Texas. Goal kick taken long by Vidal Zetterstrom. Alexander Isak has it, left hand side. The position he just like to come in field from, the Liverpool striker. He's played the ball off Sugawara for a throw in to Sweden. Isak leaves it for Stroud. Stroud leaves it for Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson will be on the clock here. He needs to get this in the box. There's been a faffing about with his throw. It's cleared away at the near post. Good defensive header by Eo Tanaka. And Elliot Stroud just had to rush there under pressure. Did manage to get the ball back to his goalkeeper. Long clearance from the Swedish stopper, and it's put out for a throw-in on the far side to the blue and yellow. Taken back in field and at the feet of Victor Lindelof. Long ball forward again, this time looking for the run of Anthony Elanga. His ability to run in behind. First start of the tournament tonight for the Newcastle man. Good goal he scored off the bench against the Dutch on match day 2. One-on-one with the goalkeeper and a left-footed finish. Japan have it now. He has a chance. 4v4 for the Japanese. Right-hand side. Ritsu Doa. Shot. Blocked by Gudmundsson. Spins up. Far side of the penalty area. Daisen Maeda. Maeda. Japan start again. Centre circle. Itakura. To Kamada. Wide is Ito with a cross. Poor ball in. Iari looking for Isak. Isak couldn't bring the ball under his spell. Oh, it's Elanga actually out there. And then a foul on Elanga by Hiroki Ito. Elanga miscontrolled it. As he tried to double back on himself to collect the ball, was fouled by Hiroki Ito, and it is a free kick for Sweden. We've played a quarter of an hour. We have no goals. Hasn't really come to life after a very bright Swedish opening. Game's just settled into a bit of a lull since. Ball on the right hand side with Sugawara. Tanaka. Out to Ito. Gets the ball back off Nakamura. Japan back inside their own half. Quite a high press here from Sweden, the front three. Gyökeres, Isak and Elanga all working together, working hard. Japan have worked around it though. Good football from Japan. Loads of space now for Doan to attack. Moved on to Nakamura. Nakamura has support both sides, comes in field. It's moved on to Io Tanaka, considered the shot from distance. It's gone wide to Sugawara. Sugawara's cross is far too close to Jakob Vidal-Set to strum, and the goalkeeper claims that above his head. Rolls the ball out. A bit of a dangerous area to Yasin Iyari. Yasin Iyari was then fouled by Io Tanaka. And then Iyari just turns to his goalkeeper and gestures at him just to calm down a little bit. I don't think Yasin Iyari particularly wanted that ball rolled out to him there. Tunisia have stemmed the flow, at least for the time being. The other game in this group. Still just 2-0 to the Dutch. No goals yet here. Goal kick for Japan. Back at the feet of Zion Suzuki. He's 23 years of age, Zion Suzuki. He seems to have been around for a long time. The Japanese international. Plays for Parma in Serie A. 25th cap this evening for his national team. Tanaka. Tanaka and Daichi Kamada tidy in there. The two holding midfielders for Japan. They just set a nice base for Japan to be able to play. Quite a solid base. Tanaka's dropped deep here to get on the ball and swings it out wide to Seko. Seko's pass is a little bit accidental, but it finds Maeda. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Sugawara. Good header from Lindelof, and Gudmundsson completes the clearance with a final touch off Ritsu Doan for a throw-in to Sweden in their own left-back area. Long throw towards Gyökeres. Gyökeres couldn't hold it up. He's got the ground, wanted a free kick, doesn't get one. Japan have it. Ayari with a neat turn. Tried to fizz it into Alexander Isak. It's a good idea, but the pass was too close to the Japanese defender. It's all very tight for Japan down this right-hand side. Once again, the referee's played an advantage, and Japan can attack left-hand side. Nakamura towards the corner of the penalty area. Into the box. He saw the run of Daichi Kamada, but the pass was way overhit and ran through to Vidal. Set the strong. Gudmundsson. That's a better pass. Into the feet of Stroud. Sweden have lost it again though. Sweden been pretty careless in possession the last 2 or 3 times they have it. Now Elanga can chase. Elanga absolutely has the legs to get there in front of Itakura. Has it now, right hand side. Looking for support. Rolls the ball under his studs a couple of times and ends up dropping it back off to Bernardsson. Japan now have everybody back. Isaac Hayne. Elliot Stroud. But Lindelof goes out right to Bernardsson. Ayari dropped into a good area, then he's tried to play the little dinked ball over the top to Alexander Isak. It was a good idea. It was a difficult ball though, and Ayari didn't execute it perfectly. It bounced away for a goal kick to the Blue Samurai. Japan, who opened up with that 2-2 draw with the Netherlands. They had to come from behind twice in that one. Got a late equaliser before they were given the gift that is Tunisia on match day 2. Into the near post, header over the top. First real effort from the Japanese. Daisen Maeda. Header from 10 yards out. He was going away from goal and couldn't direct it on target. Just went over the angle of post and crossbar. Jacob Wiedel said the Strums goal. Goal kick to the Swedes. Sweden took advantage of their game against Tunisia with that 5-1 win, before they themselves were beaten by the same scoreline against the Dutch. I can't think there's been a pair of games similar to that in the history of this tournament, where a team have won the opening game 5-1 and then lost the second game 5-1. Can't be the person who brings you no goals in a Group F match where there's been 20 in 4. We've already got 2 in the other game tonight. We just need this first one. Wiedel set to Strom, knocks it long. Alexander Isak jumped for it, but was nowhere near it. It's headed down and collected by Bernardson. Bernardson comes out to Elliot Stroud, who had a little bit of space to move into. Not many options though. Goes back to Gudmundsson. Now Isak can get it on the half turn. Finds Ayari. Ayari to Lagerbielke. Isak Kane to Gudmundsson. Terrible pass. Gudmundsson just about keeps that in. Sweden made a little bit of a mess of that. Ended up having to go back to the goalkeeper to start again. Isak Kane. Back to the 27-year-old Swedish keeper. Alexander Isak is chasing down Zion Suzuki. Suzuki just clears it long with his left foot. And that is the hydration break in the first half. Just about to hit 24 minutes on the clock. Really not an awful lot to tell you about. It was pretty open in the first few minutes. Sweden started really well, but since then it's settled down and it's pretty cagey fare, in all honesty. Japan 0, Sweden 0. The other game in this group has also reached their hydration break. That is Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. An own goal, and then Brian Brobby with his 3rd goal of the tournament for the Dutch. It's already been a really fun day of World Cup action. Ecuador came from nowhere to win their game against Germany. A late goal from Gonzalo Plata gave them a 2-1 coming from behind win. Ecuador looked like they were done and dusted, but they will make the next round. Long unbeaten run for Germany went to the wall in that one. In the other game, Ivory Coast scored a goal in each half and beat Curacao 2-0. Nicolas Pepe, who still remains the most expensive African player ever to play in the Premier League. He got the 2 goals. Curacao being a fun story as well in this tournament. They got their goal against Germany on match day 1, even though they lost that game 7-1. So Curacao have offered plenty. They'll be on their way home. Another takeaway from Ecuador picking those 3 points up was that Scotland were left hanging by a thread. They already have the 8th best 3rd place record. But it's very, very likely now that Scotland will be on their way home. Group D concludes later on this evening too. USA already through will play Turkey, who are already out. I'm sure Maurizio Pochettino will be looking to maintain momentum with his USA side. And then it's jockeying for position in a game that a lot of people suspect might be not a particularly competitive draw between Paraguay and Australia. They were just playing for second and third, but a point apiece might just be the key for that one. Hydration break is just about done. Graham Potter was giving some fairly animated instructions to his teams. Graham Potter very familiar with the Swedish culture and football. Spent 7 years, 7 successful years at Östersund in Sweden, which is where he made his name before he moved on. Spent time at Chelsea and West Ham, both fairly unsuccessfully, and then he was given the call to come and rescue Sweden's bid to make USA, Canada and Mexico 2026, which they did by beating Poland and Ukraine in the playoffs. Back underway here. The clock is on 27 minutes as we restart. Sweden have a free kick in the centre circle. Isak Hain was fouled by the backtracking Ueda, the Feyenoord striker for Japan. Gudmundsson. Hain. Lagerbielke was hurried into a clearance. That's not great from Sweden. They are a little bit clumsy at the back occasionally. That is their Achilles heel. They've got a ton of options going forward. One of them now is a Langer. Oh, that's clumsy as well. Using the word. Alexander Isak's just telling Langer to get it in the box. Yari was the man with the overlapping run, but Langer's pass was poor. Goal kick to Japan. Two shots for the Japanese so far, none on target, one for Sweden on target, but that was a pretty tame effort from Alexander Bernhardsson in the early stages. Japan have a throw in right hand side. Final touch came off Elliot Stroud. In fact, it's going to be a free kick for a high foot against Elliot Stroud. Free kick on the halfway line. The Japanese coach Hajime Moriyasu just having a little chat with the fourth official down there. Ball out to Seko. Seko goes along. 3 big centre halves for Sweden. You would have thought a long ball from Japan isn't going to be their best friend this evening. They might need to go through those Swedish defenders, much like the Dutch did. It was all down the sides. Holland caused them all kinds of problems. Cody Gakpo, Denzel Dumfries getting down the side and playing those passes in for Brian Brobby. Ball is back with Suzuki. Japan comfortable on the ball, playing out from the back. Another long ball. This time Isak Hain is trying to get in front of his man, Ueda. Good defending. Again, the physical presence of the two Swedish defenders. Him and Lagerbielke. Ueda had no real option. Pretty isolated Ueda early on. Sweden attack. Cleared away by Itakura. Throw in right outside the Japanese technical area. We've ticked past half an hour here in the Dallas Stadium in Jerry World. Gudmundsson turns it back to Isak Hain. Isak Hain, who plays in the centre of those 3 defenders for Sweden. Another who plays in Syria, he's with Atalanta. Who had a fun run in this year's Champions League. Poor clearance collected by Lindelof of all people on the edge of the penalty area. Sweden have it. Decent area. Lagerbielke to Elanga. Elanga, right hand side. Overlapping run from Bernhardsson. Bernhardsson is closed out of it by a few Japanese players, and now the break's on, and Isak Hain has got to pick up a yellow card for that. It was done for pace. Isa Kane, Ayase Ueda was off to the races. Isa Kane knew he was in trouble, so just pulled back the Japanese number 18. And Isa Kane picks up the first yellow card of this evening's match in the 32nd minute. His first of the tournament. Japan have taken the free kick. They have it in the centre circle. Ko Itakura moved on to Seko. Again, Japan just slowing it down. Itakura. And the half turn is Tanaka. Back to Seko. Into the centre circle again. No press this time from Sweden. They're just standing off Japan, allowing them to have possession. Tanaka to Itakura. Again out to Seko. Itakura moves it on to Hiroki Ito. No options forward. Right hand side. Sugawara. Japan making absolutely no inroads here. Sweden don't seem too bothered by that. Good Monson wins the header. ER, he tries to get it down. And then Alexander Isak tried to evade a couple of challenges, but the flag had gone up. The ball had already gone out for a throw into Japan before Isak tried to get away from those Japanese defenders. Through in right hand side, right on the halfway line. No goals, and we've not really looked like having one. Yeah, the longer this game has gone on, the scrappier it's got. Japan 0, Sweden 0. Match day 3 in Group F. You are listening to studio-based off-tube commentary of this one. All the action is available through your local broadcaster. Into the penalty area. That was a better ball in from Japan. It's not cleared very well from Sweden. Now then, Aori. Maybe Sweden can break. Yasin Aori trying to get around the outside of Tanaka. Oh, and Tanaka's been pulled up for a free kick and is furious about it. Io Tanaka thought he just out-muscled Yasin Aori. But the referee has given the free kick to Sweden, and we'll have a little break in play here because Isaac Hain is down on the edge of the 6-yard box. I didn't quite see what happened to him. It was the cross was delivered in by Sugawara. Oh, and I tell you what, this doesn't look good for Isaac Hain, because looking at it now, he's gone down with no one near him. He's stretched for the ball. Oh, this might be a hamstring. I think Isaac Hain might have to come off here. The Swedish medical staff are looking pretty grim. One of the medical staff has just spoken into his headset. Oh yeah, it looks like a left hamstring for Isaac Hain, and this is going to be trouble for Sweden. This is going to be a blow. Isaac Hain is being helped to his feet. His face tells a story here. He gets a hug from the goalkeeper, Jacob Vidal Zetterström, as he's taken off. Yeah, that's a left hamstring. That's the tournament done, I reckon. I don't want to be a harbinger of doom, but that doesn't look good, unfortunately, for Isaac Hain. The two captains are now getting a telling off from the referee, because all the players had gone across to take drinks and therefore instructions off the coaches, which is not allowed. Sweden are preparing the substitution, and it's not a like-for-like sub, so you might see a little change in system here, which might be helpful. I think it's Lucas Bergvall who's going to come on. Currently down to 10. Sweden. Isa Kane is down behind that goal away to our right-hand side. Now the change is made. Isa Kane off. Wish him the best. And Lucas Bergvall, Tottenham Hotspur man. Been some speculation this week that Bergvall is happy to leave Tottenham. Tottenham made a ton of signings, but Bergvall could be one who's leaving. Isa Kane's just trying to get up to walk back towards the dugout and collapsed again. He can't even do that. So Bergvall is on. This is his third appearance in the tournament, off the bench in all three. Here's a chance for Sweden now then. Bernardsson, good turn, edge of the penalty area. Tries to pull it back towards Gyökeres. Great defending over there from Io Tanaka. And then Bergvall's first interaction in the game was to flatten Io Tanaka. Referee just instructs him to calm down. Didn't really make much contact, Bergvall. Tanaka just leapt in the air. Now we're going to see a change for Japan too. Ko Itakura is going off. Not really sure what's going on there. I didn't see. Itakura doesn't look particularly injured. He's going to be replaced by Japan's number 3, Shogo Taniguchi. So, forced changes for both sides. I presume that's a forced change. I can't imagine that's tactical. That will be like for like, Taniguchi. Sweden have stayed 5 at the back. Bernardsson has gone to left back. Gudmundsson has gone across to join Lindelof and Lagerbielke. And Bergvall goes in the middle now then. Bergvall had a chance to play Elanga in, but didn't see that Daisen Maeda was after him. Maeda picked his pocket, brings the ball away for Japan. Right hand side, Sugawara. 35 yards from goal. Drops it back off to Ayumu Seko. Tanaka. Crowded out. Tanaka gets it back. Sugawara shoots. Not a bad effort, but from 25 yards out, all along the floor, was never really troubling Vidal Zetterstrom. It is an effort on target from Japan. I think it is their first effort on target of the game. One now for each side. What we really need is a goal here as the clock hits 40 minutes. It's Japan 0, Sweden 0. Group F action. As it stands, Japan in second place on 5 points, Sweden in third place on 4 points. Both will go through. Doan just leans into Gudmundsson. Referee's given a free kick. Assistant was pretty close to it, kept his flag down. But the referee was happy to give the free kick. Victor Lindelof. Sweden again, slow it down, build out from the back. The Gustav Lagerbielke. There he plays himself into trouble, gets away with it. Iari takes over, plays a poor pass up the right hand side. Japan have it back. On the half turn is Doan. Doan's got support further wide right from Sugawara. Back to the halfway line go Japan. Seko, it's pretty much walking pace now this game. Switched out right hand side. And here's a chance for Nakamura on the left. Nakamura. Thought about taking his man on. That's good play. Lagerbielke's across doing the defending. Anthony Elanga is fouled. This is really scrappy. How many times, says Anthony Elanga to the referee? I think that's probably 3, Anthony. I don't know if it was a rhetorical question. Sweden have a free kick on the right hand side. Taken quickly and across square to Gudmundsson. Kick to Lindelof. Now out to Bernardsson. Another free kick. The referee's not helping much either, by the way. I might have jinxed this earlier when I said we've been seeing a light touch from the officials, because this has been quite an officious first period. Two and a half minutes of the 45 to go, although there will be quite a lot of stoppages for the hydration break, and then that injury to Isaac Hayne. Long ball forward for Japan, but pretty aimless. Sugawara was in the vicinity, but was way over the top of the Japanese number 2. Bergvall tries to get on the ball. Heavy touch, and then he's flattened another man, Bergvall. Struggled to get into the game. Is he going to get away with the yellow card again? Ritsu Doan is the man down. It was a poor touch from Bergvall, and then he's just gone flying into the tackle. That's really clumsy from Lucas Bergvall. On the left ankle of Ritsu Doan. Bergvall was pretty quick to escape the scene there. The referee has gone across now just to talk to him. No yellow card for the youngster. He's 20 years of age, Lucas Bergvall. Left hand side for Japan, Nakamura. Now he has a chance. Crossing opportunity towards the back post. Still alive. And now Gudmundsson hacks it clear for Sweden. Japan had men over momentarily. Ball is out for a throw-in on the halfway line for Japan. So Nakamura there just tricked his way into the box, crossed to the back post. It was miscontrolled by Sugawara, which allowed Sweden to clear. Into the final 60 seconds. Up in the air by Lagerbielke. It's a tidy little pass from Tanaka around the corner. And now then, here's a chance for Doan. Doan's got a ton of options. He's gone wide to Nakamura. Corner of the penalty area. Runner beyond him was Ito. Cross was blocked at the near post. Nakamura has it back. Japan finishing the half a little bit stronger. Io Tanaka. Out to Ito. On the half turn is Nakamura into the penalty area, shooting chance, poke towards goal, good save, left hand save from Joachim Riedel Zetterstrom. Bit of a toe pokes effort from Keito Nakamura, just trying to shape it round the keeper. Actually, you know, it's not a bad effort at all from Nakamura. Wasn't a toe poke, inside of the foot, and Riedel Zetterstrom had to stretch to get a left hand to that, and it's out for a corner kick on the right hand side for Japan. We are into stoppage time here at the end of the first half. It was hooked skywards by Kamada, won in the air by Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson is challenged by Doan. And this time the free kick goes the way of Sweden. 5 minutes added time here. We've played one of them. Still scoreless in this Group F game between Japan and Sweden. Long ball forward, looking for Isak. Isak couldn't get there. Gyökeres is in behind him. And the flag's gone up against Alexander Isak. Isak got a goal against Tunisia in that opening game. Actually cost his side a goal in the second game against the Netherlands. Miscontrolled the ball, allowing the Dutch to break and score. Hoping to banish the memories of a nightmare season for Alexander Isak. Zion Suzuki, whose kit, by the way, this evening is quite magnificent. It's a great colour, sort of pinky red, but then also there's a lot of detail on there. Free kick for Sweden. Isak looks down the line for Gyökeres. Isak passes the ball out for a throw-in. 2.5 minutes of the 5 stoppages gone. You get a feeling the longer this goes on, both sides will be kind of happy with it. Netherlands going 2-0 up early has changed things as well for Japan. Japan could win the group if they bettered the Dutch result. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes would have kind of dampened their enthusiasm for that, meaning the prospect of a draw is absolutely fine. Now here's a chance for Isak. Gyökeres with a shot deflection. It's going to be a corner kick. With the Gyökeres from 22 yards out. Didn't have much support. The ball broke to him fortuitously. And with a lack of options, just had a strike which hit 2 Japanese defenders. It's out for a corner kick on the left-hand side, which Yassine Ayari is going to swing in with his right foot. Referee just separating a bit of a scrum in the 6-yard box. Everyone under the crossbar there. Yassine Ayari towards the back post. Imposing figure of Zion Suzuki. Double punch away. Elanga collects it. Japan have just stayed in here. Bernardsson had loads of options, picked a terrible one. Went square and back to Gudmundsson. Out to Elanga. Elanga goes for the 1-2 with Bergvall. Bernardsson. Long ball, poor ball from Bernardsson. Elliot Stroud couldn't make anything of that. Japan hack it clear. And we've got 45 seconds of this first half to play, and it is scoreless. And neither side is threatened, other than a couple of half chances. One last chance maybe for Sweden. Towards the edge of the box, doesn't break for Ayari. Stroud will pick it up. Corner of the box, left-hand side. Stroud, low cross. Claimed well by the goalkeeper. A little bit better that time from Elliot Stroud. Just got half a yard beyond his fullback, but couldn't find anyone with a cross. And the Suzuki clears skywards. The referee blows for half-time. Half-time's gone pretty quick, but there's not a highlight to tell you about. Pretty cagey stuff here in the Dallas Stadium. Half-time in this Group F.